So today I'm going to look particularly how you can speed up WordPress and what types of things can be done. And you may be familiar with the fact that page speed and other tests are showing that your website, if it's a WordPress website, may be slowing down. The reason that's important to have speed is because it means that the quicker your website loads, then the more likely it is that your customers are going to react or interact with your website, and therefore they're more likely to do business. And it's the page speed insights that Google particularly uses on mobiles to start ranking your website. So in effect, it's another option of SEO really. It's making sure you can load your websites even faster. So I've picked my top 3. I've done some reviews, and these are ones that I familiarly use with my customers, and also I've got some interesting news at the end as well, some big news from WordPress regarding how to speed up your website, so look out for that at the end. But let's just consider for a moment then, beforehand, which tools or plugins I use to speed up websites with. And the first one I'm going to choose is that which is called W3 Total Cache. W3 Total Cache, and what I'll do with all my reviews is I'm looking particularly, are they popular? Because if you have a caching plugin that isn't popular, the chances are it's going to have lots and lots of bugs in. So popularity and support are essential. I'm going to look at the results it actually produces. I look at the costs, which generally speaking, free is good as far as I'm concerned, and also making sure it works with the latest versions of WordPress. So taking W3 Total Cache, when I looked into it, this would be my number 1 choice. I use it quite often, and the reason being is it does improve SEO, as is brought out in this video that they produce here. This plugin as well is not particularly easy to set up. So you may find that that's one of the challenges that puts people off using it. But it does work and time well with Google Page Speed, and that's one of the reasons why this is so useful. It also has a nice dashboard widget within your WordPress, and when I tested it I found that there was a good reduced server response time. It eliminated render blocking and JavaScript and CSS in the above fold. So all those things are essential if you want to speed up your website, and also you could control it using browser caching as well. But was it popular? Well, as you can see here, over 1 million people have installed it, so it has a popularity. What's the ratings like? Well, it gives it a 4.5 star out of 5, so that again, no concerns there. It seems that people use it, issues are solved, the reviews look good. Installation is generally easy. There's a little bit of complexity there, but on the whole, people get answers to support if they get stuck in any way. You notice these support issues are answered within the last day as well, so that's useful to know. And those are the types of things I'm looking for a good plugin. So you notice here as well that it works with most WordPress versions from 3.2 onwards. It was last updated 2 days ago, and those are the types of things I'm looking for a good plugin. There is a cost if you want the Pro version, which is $99 a year, but on the whole this is one that I can recommend. So that would be my first one to recommend with you, and one for you to use. Let's take my second one, and it's WP Super Cache. So WP Super Cache from Automatic. How does that rate? Well, again, we're looking at popularity and support, its results, the cost of it, and does it work with the latest version of WordPress? Well, looking again, this has excellent reviews. This plugin is particularly useful to speed up your WordPress, because it really has this ease of use, I think, is probably what sets it apart from the previous one. It's easier to set up, so you can literally just stick it straight on and off you go. So if you're looking for something a bit easier, then this is probably the one for you. I've used it before. It works seamlessly and in a similar way to W3, and I felt it was just a little bit limited, so you could do less tweaking under the bonnet. So it's just a bit more for perhaps those that want something of ease. It is a little bit limited, but it is free, and you notice because it's easier to use, it has 2+ million users. So again, it works on pretty much every WordPress version you've got. Again, it's recently updated 2 days ago. Looking at the support, you'll see again it's support within the last day or so, which is what you want to see. and again, the reviews are good. It has a 4.5, and generally you can see that people are using it and it's been useful. These are current reviews as well. So all those things kind of give you confidence to know that it's going to be useful. The support issues are resolved. The caching results were pretty good when I tested it too. So in a similar way to when I tested W3 Total Cache, WP Super Cache also produces just as good results really. So if you want to just have it out of the box, easy to use, then I can recommend WP Super Cache as another plugin for caching and speeding up your WordPress website. So we're going to take our third one, WP Rocket. This presents itself probably the best in a sense of it's got excellent branding. It stands out really well. You can see quite clearly a lot of people enjoy using this. So how does this one stand when it comes to its features and its pricing and so on? Well, it's certainly popular again. Many people are downloading it. It's basically 1 million people now have downloaded it as well. So it has good ratings and it stands out well from that point of view. So it claims to be the fastest and most impressive, and the stats do seem to agree with that. So this is probably in some ways a bit more of the new kid on the block, except you do have to pay for it. So there's no free version. So there is a leap of faith here required because it's $49 a year. So it's not a lot of money, but compared to the other two, it claims to be even more powerful, and it is recognized as being one of the most powerful caching plugins there is. So I came across this really where I was trying to optimize for images, and I'll come on to that as something, a little special thing for you in a moment when it comes to image caching. But basically this is a useful, smart plugin. It works really well. It gets #1 choice because most people recognize it as being worth the $49 a year. You get full support with that $49, and it does seem to be that the configuration and the simplicity of it can justify the cost. So generally the ratings are excellent. It's been certainly considered as being impressive and continues to grow. I think last time I looked at it, there was 100,000 less. That was just a few months ago. So people are really using this plugin. It seems to be the most current and most extensive one yet. So again, as I say, I think that you can start with a single license and then you can go from there. But certainly it gets tremendous reviews. It claims that there's a money back guarantee. So in some ways, you've got 14 days using it for free to just check and make sure that it works for you as well. But a really outstanding plugin if you're prepared to just part with a little bit of cash and a little bit of faith as well. So in conclusion, out of those three, they're all very, very good. They're all very, very acceptable. They've got good support. They work on pretty much every version of WordPress. 2 are free. 1 takes £49 or $49, but you'll find that actually all 3 have been proven to be the most useful way of speeding up your website so that then you can get a much more closer to the 100 that what pretty much everyone is aiming for when it comes to caching and speeding up their WordPress website. But I did mention a little bonus for you, and it's just regarding the fact that the latest release of WordPress, which is due to be out, I'm told, in March the 31st. So this is WordPress 5.4 release date, and it's supposedly going to have image lazy loading. And this is the reason why this is done really is because images take up a tremendous amount of the download time on a website, and often you're downloading images that are slowing down the rest of the rendering of the page. And so this is a new way in which many of the plugins have adopted this. You've probably already got a plugin that does this, but if you haven't, this is now going to become an enabled part of WordPress in the core. So I think this is going to change again the way in which websites speed up. So look out for this in the latest release in WordPress in the next couple of months, probably in 2 months' time. We'll expect to see this, and it will certainly have quite an impact on the speed of your website, where it won't require JavaScript to accomplish this lazy loading. So hopefully that's great news for you if you're a web designer, or if you're trying to have your website speed up so that it then gets higher in the results when it comes to Google's results. So thanks, and if there's any of these videos now that you find interesting, then make sure you continue watching.